go for the, what is it, $150 bounty for winning?
Yeah, $125 bounty, yeah.
$125 bounty. All right, let's see it. Ladies and gentlemen, spawning on the top of the map in the color blue, we do indeed have SamWise 12 playing as the British XP treasure and coin treasure in base. Going to ignore both. Explorer heading out onto the map, and we can pick these things up later. I wonder if he's going for a trading post now. Not the right trajectory for that, and would be unusual as British. What does he come across there? That's a 2 coyote treasure, nearly mature. That's a good one early on. That's a good one. You get the extra scout when you need it most at the very start, and can help you with all the other treasures as well. Do you hear a laundry machine in the background? I can just wondering if I need to figure that out.
I do not hear anything in the background, so you're perfect.
Very good.
Continue.
Never mind.
Keep the washing going. That's what I say.
All right, it seems to be working. Spawning in the south of the map, in the color red, we do indeed have Ezad.
And
89,
dropping down the 2 manas.
Yep.
Going for the 2 mana opening. This the same as
what treasures did he pick up?
Let's take a look.
So far.
I don't.
Page
can we
up.
check on a page up? Let me try page up. Oh, it worked.
Oh.
It worked. It worked. There we go.
Oh.
All right. So we got Ezad picking up 55 coin.
Nice.
And
that's it so far by the looks of it. 40 XP in his base. SamWise clearly went home for that. So pretty even. Like, what do we got on the map? That's what we want to. I think that's like where Age 1's going to be. 130 coin. That's a big one to look out for.
Got the 305 coin. The Dread Aztec Mummy, and we've also got the 100
I think we'll
food.
be coming for that one later. That one's kind of it's kind of heavy to get that though.
It's right in the middle. It's definitely an A tier treasure. It's something that both players are going to want.
And I don't think there was anything on that side. Otherwise, Sam would have started going for it. So you probably want to look in the lower right quadrants. For
60 wood down here.
there.
Not too bad. A healer.
Yeah.
And 70 coin.
All right, so we got the lay of the land, and we'll sort of see how this goes. But we spoke about that British Mirror in an earlier series. This food treasure is going to be big. Like, if he can get a hold of this, you get up to the next stage sort of 1 vil sooner, and that's exactly what you want as British. I mean, we said it last time, I'll say it again. The sooner you get up, the sooner you can place that barracks and outpost, and you get that up where you want it, and the outpost, your opponent's just sort of has to react to you, because, you know, like, that's, yeah, you just seize map control, and you're ahead on the musket training. And it's going to be beautiful. Picks himself up that food. Really, really nice. 100 food in the bank.
Yeah, it's definitely, as you mentioned, it means he's going to be able to age up potentially a villager early. I don't know whether he's going to be able to get it in right now. He's only got 200 food in the bank, but opting
did he chop for a 3rd mana?
He did indeed chop for a 3rd mana.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, that's going to, the food's going to set that back a bit. He's going to, like, that would slow his head. What did SamWise do?
We can take a look at SamWise base. It looks like he's done the exact same thing. Is this meta? So Ezad and SamWise both chopping for that extra mana. So definitely seeming like the 3 mana meta is definitely the
yeah. I mean, the other thing to bear in mind, this isn't Malaysia. This is Mexico, and that mesa in the middle of the map there sort of breaks it up in a way where if you do place your barracks or your and your outpost on, you have to do it on either the left or the right.
Yes.
And then your opponent, like, you only secure one side of the map. It's not like you can secure, like, the middle and then, therefore, more map. So maybe you take it a bit slower. There's not so much of a rush just because the threat's not quite as big. I don't know. This is very, like, high thinking, very nebulous at the moment. Let's get back into the game, shall we? He's going up with the governor, kind of expected, wants that outpost, and both players going up more or less at the same time, right?
Yeah, both players going up at the same time, same village account, both going up with the governor. This is the British Mirror. So let's take a look at the decks, see if we've got any big glaring differences. We'll take a look at SamWise's deck first. We've got Virginia Company, but no TP taken in Age 1, so we are unlikely to see that one coming out. But we do have the 3 rockets in Age 4. We've also got Refrigeration in the deck. No Cav attack in Age 2, but we do have the 700 food resource crates. Also, no 4 Hussars in deck. So let's go in and have a look at Ezad's deck. And Ezad, instead of having Refrigeration in Age 3, he's got the 10 Jaegers.
And CM as well.
Got CM, yeah. So instead of having the 3 rockets.
No rockets. Yeah, okay. Seems reasonable. I like that, these are very slight choices. Like SamWise like 700 food. Ezad prefers the cavalry hit points upgrade and things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with you. And it's interesting because Ezad is known typically as one of the more greedy players. Like, if I was to put people on a scale of greediness, I'd have Kanisi at the top, Neutral Bear would be right underneath him, and then right under that, I'd have Ezad. So obviously, the Town Militia, they're playing into the type of strategy, the type of play style that he likes to implement. Now we've got the healer coming in for Ezad as well. Going to be looking to potentially harass the locals here. Settler Just hanging out next to the healer, not really doing much. It might be looking like he's going to pull, but does Ezad actually spot this? He knows this treasure exists. So managing to spot it, but not being able to get there in time. Healer trailing in the wind. Doing some pretty good hurting at this stage and getting out these forward manners. I love these forward manners. Line of sight just being provided around the map. Really important in this matchup especially because you're going to be expecting a lot of raids coming in from the Musketeers. A lot of multitasking is going to be going down. And as a result, I do suspect that that we're going to see a lot more forward manners. We've got 2 out on the front for SamWise as well. Let's check and see what his line of sight looks like. He's got the exact same thing going on. So the mana meta is definitely being developed. How do you think this is going to unfold?
I just love this map. Like, Mexico, like, you'd think, well, this map, like, on paper is just a bit sort of, like, there's not, like, too much going on, a bit empty spaces, but I love the simplicity of it, and I love the messer in the middle. It just breaks up the map in this really nice way, and you've got that trading post running through that route, running through the middle. Like, for me, I love trading routes that, like, are not in your base, the ones you have to really fight for out on the map.
Yes.
Like, this is my favorite kind of map. It's conducive to the style of gameplay that I personally really enjoy watching.
I agree with you.
I'm definitely looking forward to sort of seeing how this pans out. To answer the question though, it looks like both of them are just like trying to eke out a bit of extra greed. Like, I always say this in mirror matchups because it's kind of true that you just try to be slightly more greedy than your opponent. I think you say this too, slightly more greedy than your opponent. And well, shall we compare their mana counts and sort of see what they're up to?
Yeah, so both are on 80 mana population, both are on 24 villager population, both following the same build order up until this point. No, it's the exact same build order. Shipments coming in at the exact same time as well, with Ezad's slightly behind SamWise's, I think. Actually, I think they're coming in at the exact same time. This is what I'd expect in a mirror matchup. They are quite literally mirrored down to the shipment timings.
Yeah, and Blue Explorer was coming through, so he gets to see sort of what's going on. He confirms there's nothing funky. Does lose his Explorer for it, but he can see the muskets here, and he can see there's manners dotted around. I think maybe he got a whiff of the treasure on the floor. No, because that's sort of on the way. Is that their first shipment coming?
This is the second shipment, so they've already both shipped 700 wood, and now they're shipping the 600 wood.
So it's kind of hard to tell sometimes.
Yeah, I guess one of the primary differences that we do have is this outpost from SamWise is a lot more forward than the outpost from Ezad. I guess that comes back into style as well. Ezad a bit more of a greedy player, so sitting on the back line. But yes, to answer your question a little bit earlier, I definitely think in mirror matchups you do want to be just slightly more greedy than your opponent, and that's really how you're going to eke out that victory. I'm a big fan of greedy. My playstyle typically is to be as greedy as possible without dying, and then hopefully, hopefully then I can pull out the victory. So potentially we'll see that coming up from Ezad. Ezad now getting steel traps. Do we see SamWise doing the same thing? SamWise going place of mines. He's already got steel traps. Correct.
I really like what he's doing. Look at this, just sieging down the manor house, and I think like, well, you think why would you do that? Like, you're giving them an extra villager, but that's not going to matter for a very long time. And but that extra XP you get now really does. Would I recommend playing like this to most people? Absolutely not, because the risk that you siege this manor and they come in and kill one of your muskets, and then then all of the value is gone. You lost a musket, you might have lost 2 muskets. It's just, I think the safer thing to do is just to do nothing. Just sit in your base, massing up, and like being proactive like this against the manors. I really like to see, because SamWise has he's played for so many years, he's had so much practice, and he's so experienced that like he's not afraid of losing a musket or something like that, and he's going to siege these manors. And look at it, he's getting these extra XP. It's boosting the speed at which that 5 settler shipment arrives. And this might be our first deep. No,
they've both got the 5 settlers coming in, so they're still mirroring the build. But
lose a musket. What did I say?
He lost a musket, and we saw a bit of the house just flying off. I think the bit of the house crashed into the cliff and then just flew off the map off to the other side. So a little bit of an interesting physic engine interaction going there. But yeah, you're 100% on the money once again. I guess the question is, like, you know, there's a lot of kill XP on the manors, but we do see SamWise utilizing that, aiming to boost his shipment. And now this is where it really starts to deviate.
Can you check the progress of his opponent?
Yeah, so we can see that the 5 settlers from Ezad would have just arrived now. So he's got 40 settlers compared to the 43 of SamWise. And SamWise, this is where a huge amount. So Ezad's got 180 XP to go, and SamWise is already halfway through his musketeer upgrade. So he's going to be able to have a very small timing window where his opponent isn't going to have the musketeer attack. Now, keep in mind, they've mirrored their build orders identically up until this point, with the exception of, say, the timing of steel traps or placer mines. But we've got 32 musketeers out for SamWise, whereas we've got 25 for Ezad. But Ezad has got the 5 longbowmen, so they might make just a very slight difference. No, I believe he's just built these ones.
So this is kind of like the time where you start sort of mixing a few longbows in. You don't want too many of them, but they are good, right, against musketeers. So let's see what he makes of them. I mean, it's not a shipment, so it's not like a power spike or something. And it's also a choice to spend that wood on not manners. It's a choice to spend them on longbows.
Precisely. And that for me is the big thing. It's like, I would rather just be spending it on those manners, having those extra villagers, because now you do notice those villagers. I mean, those longbows taking the shot. Doesn't look like he's going to be losing a musket.
Yes.
Just managing to give it a little bit of a scratch.
And that's like, I don't think Sam knew about the longbows, but that, like, look what they're achieving. They're stopping the muskets from really doing too much because they have, well, funny that, long range.
They are indeed longbows. But Sam now, so his window is closing. The musketeer damage is coming in for Ezad. He doesn't want to start his fight until that comes in. Once it comes in, then I think you're free to engage. He's got a fair big mass of musketeers, 35 muskets here.
Here we go, the 3 muskets going down there. There's an outpost here as well, so I think SamWise making the right choice, just kiting away from the longbows, kiting away from that outpost. His opponent has obviously that reinforcing advantage as well, so I don't think Sam wants to take that fight just there, but is, being proactive on the map. Managed to kill another mana. I think Marul, no, the Explorer does not go down. So what's next on the agenda? If it's not a fight right here, right now, which it could be, no, they're just skirmishing still, then I think the next thing to look at is, well, obviously these upgrades coming in, because that might be when the fight happens. But I think the trading post line, like this is perhaps where I think Sam might be able to start thinking about sort of adding them in, perhaps getting Stagecoach. Or do you think that's too slow, Drongo?
I think that might be too slow. What I'm honestly thinking is, okay, yeah. SamWise is just like, he's one of those big brain players, okay? He is 100% worked this out. And he's known, okay, I've sieged a certain amount of manas. I'm going to have those over my opponent. SamWise even scouting another mana here, but not opting for it because he knows once this hit points arrives, it's go time. Now, I don't know what the exact interactions are with musket HP and musket attack, all that sort of stuff, but I know that 2 upgrade cards are better than 1. So my suspicion is if you engage right now, oh my god, that's a big mess. I didn't even realize they're burning down that outpost, but my suspicion is that if you engage your opponent right now, where he's got musket hit points coming in, and you're able to take him out, that you're going to be in a lot better position than he is.
That's a really good point. And he was killing those manas, right? So his XP curve is ahead, which means he has these 2 upgrades in sooner. Can you check that, confirm that?
Yeah, 100%.
So SamWise is just about to get that in.
No, SamWise has got his in. SamWise got his in a long time ago. Ezad's just getting in his now.
So SamWise needs to take his fight soon. Like, Ezad sort of catching up here.
The timing window is completely closed now for SamWise. So I think his next timing window is probably a unit shipment. We can take a look and see whether he's got anything in the queue. He's got 120 XP until his next unit shipment, but he's picking up a couple reinforcements. He got a wonderful concave, 37 musketeers against 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 muskets. I'm not that good at math, but I'm pretty confident that is enough to win. We've also got a decent mass over here as well. How many muskets?
It's very split, isn't it?
31 muskets.
And then they meant like Sam managing 2 groups here, which is, I mean, well, still, yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot, but a huge amount. So we've got 60 muskets, and then this is a lot of muskets. You got to be really careful, Sam. If you try and engage that without your other half, it's going to be difficult. It's going to be difficult, but we see a musketeer getting caught in the trading post socket. That's 2 muskets now getting caught in the trading post socket. Hopefully it's not too damaging. Got a bit of a concave going on. More musketeers coming in from the south side now. Reinforcements coming in from the north as well. 2 separate fights happening, 2 different fronts, but at the same time, a connected part, just a longer front. More reinforcements coming in from Ezad at the same time. We've got the 700 coin behind this coming in from SamWise. A fair bit of units now really starting to develop. We've got more than 50 musketeers.
Like more blue ones, right?
Yeah, there's a lot more blue musketeers. I don't know what's happened here, how this has happened, but we're down to 37 musketeers versus 46, and the numbers just keep dropping at this point, down to 32, and Ezad has thrown in the towel. It does come down to the Musketeers, and I guess Ezad really just appreciating it that once you're at this point, like what is there to do? I mean,
it's just not the most like dynamic game, but like it happens as Brit Mirror.
Look, it's a Brit
Not
Mirror.
the
They're
best
famous
example
for
of
just
H3.
being Brit Mirrors, aren't they? Like, you know,
Yeah.
I think Give You Anxiety said it best when he said that this is a matchup that comes down to RNG. You know, who gets the most hunts, whose Musketeers are firing the most, who gets more muskets stuck in a trading post socket. It's those sorts of things.
TP gobbling them up.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're right. It's just like if I was asked to show people a matchup in H3, I wouldn't pick this one. That said, though, oh my god, I really want to put the New World Championship on my YouTube channel at some point. But like, there is such a good Brit Mirror in there that is just like, it's so interesting the way it's played, and Raphael getting up to Fortress Age. Like, there's room for it to be played differently, but here both players sort of playing it safe with the muskets, and then it just comes down to, well, I don't think there's much else to say. Shall we just get into the next game?
Before we get into the next game, I just want to say something, okay? And that comes back to the XP curve. Now, I don't know whether we can attribute this to the XP curve, but we can see that from the very beginning, SamWise has got a very slightly higher gradient that's happening, and it starts probably at about 7 minutes. Now, that's really when it starts to deviate. So if we take a look at villager count, at 7 minutes is when we actually see the 5 villagers come in. Now, they come in, it's not a lot earlier. It's about, what, probably about 15 seconds of difference. But
just up our vill the whole game, or 2 vills.
Yeah, so that it comes back to those the 5 longbows. You spend 200 wood on 5 longbows.
Yeah,
well, that's 1.5 less mana that you can make.